Hi everyone, today we are going to see how we can filter Power BI reports using D365 option sets, right? So what are the steps we have to follow? Let's see. So here we have a report, account report. It's a small report we have. And if you see, there is an option set on the account form that is called as a relationship type, right? So these are the options here. So I need to slice or filter the account uh, records by using this data, right? So something like this is the uh, name of the schema name of the field, okay? Schema name of this relation type field. So I just added to a slicer here, and if you see, you cannot see um, the labels over here. Yeah, you can see here, but I will come to that. But before that, if you directly add the same field into a slicer by dragging and dropping, like this is the field. So if you drag and drop here, you will see only the numbers. You cannot see the labels, right, to filter it out. So that is not the perfect way or the good way to do that. So how to solve that problem first? So we have to use another application called as XRM Toolbox. So let's see that. So in the XRM Toolbox, there is a plugin called Power BI Option Set Assistant. Okay, so we have to open that, and once you open that, there is an option called Load Entities. You do that first. So it will list out all your entities. You select the entity which you want to use, and after that, you can see all the fields over here. And you select the field that is called as a customer type code. And if you see here, the name of the field is relationship type. Same here, relationship type, and you just select it and uh, click on the create record for selected option sets. I have already created. So in turn, what it does actually, it will create a entity inside Dynamics CDS that will contain all the option set values and the labels, the respective labels. Okay, so what is the entity name? How it looks like? We'll see that. So once you click that, your job is done. So you are ready to use now. So let's see how the how that looks like. So we'll go to the transform data. I have already did that to make the video little short, right? So will not take much time here. So this is the name of the uh, entity which will be created when you click on that button, right, in XRM Toolbox. So that name is GAP Power BI Options and References. So this is what it will be generated automatically, right? And the name of it is customer type code. If you see, the option set schema name is this, and the respective values will be also, like you can see what is the entity name for all about, like you can, it will be capturing all the data from different entities altogether, right? And the respective values as well. So where the value will store, where is the label stored, you can see. So GAP underscore, I'll show you that in a minute. So because this is the table is created, but the to use into the to use it to the report, right? So we need a relationship. So the relationship is not by created by default, right? So we have to see the relationship is exist between this entity, account entity, and the entity which we created. The name is GAP Power BI Option Set References, right? For that, we'll switch back to the designer mode where we can see the relationships. And if we come here, I have already created the relationship. So let's see this. All right. So for this, I just clicked edit, and if you see here, the relationship is created for the customer type code, because the name of the field is customer type code, and after that, if you see that, what is the field I have mapped is GAP value. So this will be store all the values of a particular option sets, right? And we have a GAP label, right? If you see, these are the label values for each of the option sets. And you have to, so there is something theory behind this also. So I'll make a video in another some time, or maybe the next video. And I selected the single one, right? This is done, the relationship is created, and I'm good to go now, right? And let me close it. uh, it's taking time. Yeah, let's jump into the report. We'll see that action now. It should work that I have the um, label in my hand. So the label name is gap label underscore label, right? So this is what I added from this entity, gap Power BI. So there is a relationship between account and this entity. So I should able to filter that. So let's select something from here. We'll see that. Yeah, it is filtering, right? And even if you select from this also, it will filter, but the only difference is it is a number, and these are the labels which will be justifying what is the function is, what is the filter is all about. So why I created another two filters here, I'll come to that. So this is all about that when the scenario that your account entity have one option set and you are filtering on top of it, and there is easy, right? You just do these steps, it is okay. But there is another scenario. I have a catch here. So I have another option set. No, I just created randomly type of Power BI reports, and I just created a blah blah blah, these three options, right? And this I need to use as a filter over here, right? To the account, because I have two slices to use in my, there is a requirement I have to use two slices, and I have to do that. So in that case, I have to follow same steps, right? So what I did, I came here, I selected the field, I just click on create records for selected option sets, boom, that is created. And if you go here, um, if you go here, we can find out more values, more option sets are created or added to this same entity. Yeah, very good, right? So yeah, so it is added. It is added here. So the second option set, I have added three values, so it's three records just for time being. Yeah, and let's go back. But there is a catch. But there is a catch we have to see. So I have added that. So this is GAP label, right? So the same field GAP label contains both these values and also these values. I can do a filter on out of it, because if you click over here, you can see this is a filter. I just selected this one value, so that's why it is showing one. If you click here, and I just selected this value, so that's why it is showing here. If I remove this, right, it will show you all values, right? So but there is a catch, right? So I created a record. So if I selected supplier, so it should be visible, because there is some record which where I selected a particular option from these three, right? There is certain records which I collected, but I, as I said, let's check that how it is working. If you go to the designer, and if you click here, um, on the manage relationship, I have created a relationship between account, customer type code, and GAP underscore value. Because first of all, I'm creating the relationship between these two work in the report, right? This is what I created. Similarly, here the scenario is I have another option set, right? And I have to map to the same GAP value, right? The option set value which is present in this entity. But when you make it active, it will throw you an error. You cannot do that, because you are mapping to the same field to the multiple fields in the account. The same field here, but you are mapping to another accounts multiple fields here. So that is not happening. So there might be some way to achieve it, but let's jump into another way how we can achieve that. Yeah, easiest way. So this is the problem, that you have two option sets and you have to use as a slicer. So how easily you can handle it? You created from XRM Toolbox, the entity is ready, the fields are ready, but only thing is you cannot use the filter over here. For that, so there is a trick. You just go to the settings here, like the you go to the account, right, and you click on merge queries. Great. So once you say merge queries, I already merged, but I'll show you what exactly I did here. I merged the the fields from the account. Yeah, so which field I should use? I should use the field, which this one, right? To this field, and to the, I'm just merging with the same values from both the entities. So here will be same value, means CAP value, right? Because the option set values here and the option set values here will be matching, right? So I have to do a left outer join, everything from the account and the matched one from this, right? So when I'm merging, so what will happen? So you have to expand it. So once you merge, so remember you have to merge with the existing option set field with the GFE value, because it stored all the options values, right? There is no separate entity for it. Select that and you click hit. So I have already did that. So when you complete that step, so it will ask you to there is an option will come, so you have to expand it. So when you expand it, you just select only the label, not the other fields, because you need label. You have already the ID, right? These values here. So I have my IDs here, which is already there, and I have the labels now from that other entity which I created from the XRM Toolbox. Yeah, it will pretty easy now. You have everything in your hand. So instead of creating a relationship, all those steps, you can also follow this step to achieve it. Yeah, and I just added that same field label, right? From the, when I merged, the label came here and account, and that label is here. Here, so I added this in the slicer. Now let's see, let's select something called supplier. You see there is some records from called a system view, right? It is not clearing out things. And let me select other. Yeah, there is some record which is like other. Let me go to account. This is supplier and this is system view. Just now I showcase that, right? When I selected supplier, there is system view, but these two are missing, right? So this is the ID field, and this is altogether is missing. So the correct way was this one. So when you have multiple uh, options as to filter the table or matrix, then you use this way. Instead of doing the first way, you can directly jump into the second formula and you just merge your things. That will work perfectly. But you have to do merge two times, because two fields will be there, two fields for two different option sets. Yeah, that's okay. But based on your requirement, you can do that. And I think that's all from my end today. And here just a recap. You just merged the gap value and the customer type code in the first case. And if you need two filtered using two option sets, what you have to do from the same entity. So this is what it looks like when you add that. Yeah, and you will have the option set and the label as well. And this is the end of the uh, video today. Please hit subscribe for me. Thank you very much for watching me. Yeah, take care. Bye.